Hello there. How are everyone today? This is Darla Delane, founder of She CEO. And today I want to talk to you about something. I might sound a little mama bearish to some of you today because I have been talking with some of my clients this morning and noticing that they're letting their systems and structures be more important than the whole purpose of their business. And I want to really help you with this today. And it was kind of already a topic I wanted to talk about, but I'm really seeing that this comes up a lot when there are times when we're in fear that we tend to focus back on systems and structures to protect you. I want you to keep in mind your structures, for your structures, the healthy purpose of your structures and systems is for them to support you and give you a foundation. They are not to become a prison for you or the be-all end-all of your business. And most importantly, they're not the focus of your business. They are there for support for you. We all want to be productive. I mean, productivity is the key to an effective, profitable business. And listen, folks, the key to productivity is having your focus in the right place, and that's on the outcome you want, right? So if you want to be super productive, which we all want, that efficiency and productivity and time management, all those things that really allow us to do more of what we really want to do in less time, then really staying outcome focused is the key to that. So this is the key to top levels of productivity. And if you're focused on the system and the structure, you're not focused on the outcome. And if you're focused on the system and structure, your productivity is going to go down. And I'm going to tell you why. So first of all, your outcomes are those goals and intentions that you set like way back at the beginning of the year. You remember those? So now that 2020, we are ending this week Q1. And now that 2020 is turning out quite differently than most of us anticipated, I'm going to have a suggestion for you that you really, this week being the end of Q1, take a look back at those. These are your yearly, monthly, weekly, daily outcomes that came from the priorities that are super important to you based on your core values and your business's core values, right? So it's like, this is what I really want to do for people. This is the service I want to do or the product I want to do. This is how I want to do it. Super excited. And then these are the outcomes I want. That becomes your intention, right? And then you set goals. And from those goals come the actions that you're going to do that will reach that intention for you of that outcome that you've come up with. And, right now might be a really good time for you to go back and take another look at those, because that may be why you're not focused on your outcome, because your outcomes may not even make any sense right now. If your outcome was to go to more in-person, your outcome was to meet more people and add to your client list, and your doing with that, your action with that was you were super inspired and excited to be at more in-person networking events. That's not happening right now. So you need to look at what that outcome was you had in your head to meet more people in person. May need to just get a little more specific in adding more people to your client list, to your lead list, to your vendor list, whatever that is for you, to your team, people that you want to add to your team. Maybe still the outcome might be that, but you may want to take a look at that and see where you are on it, because there may have been some outcomes you really wanted this year that are going to need to shift. Some of them are going to need to make a complete pivot, right? So take a look at those. Remember, these are based on your core values, your priorities, what's really important to you. If you have financial goals and financial intentions, those can be really important to you, but what is the purpose of the money? Like the money, if you just had piles of it sitting in a safe, aren't going to do you much good. Like, what was that priority or that outcome the money was going to give you, okay? So that's what you really want to be looking at in that case. All right, so now the big question is, where is your attention? Where are you looking? In which direction are you facing? So if you are turned face towards your outcome, that's where you're headed. But if you are another opposite direction, focused on your structure or system, then it's taking you away from your outcome, because the structure and system, that's not the purpose, is for your focus. It is something that'll be part of your action, and I'll tell you how you'll do that. For example, I had someone get really, really upset because they weren't able to post the other day because their kiddo was home and they really need to get the homeschooling thing. And so we talked about just this structure and system that would support that, rather than focused on the structure she had and having that bring her vibe down, bring her feelings down. And it wasn't even focused on the outcome. If the outcome was to meet some more people, she could totally do that the next day in a much bigger way than just that one post would have been. So you see how where you're paying attention, where you're focusing is where you're headed. Where you're focusing is what is going to expand. So if you want a bunch more structures and systems, those are all great to have, but they need a purpose. They're not just there to be there. They are there for you to reach an outcome. Otherwise, you don't really have a business that's focused on an outcome. You just have a hobby you're playing around with, doing marketing structures or whatever else that system is, which I know is not what you're doing. All right, so you want to be sure you are paying attention, focusing your attention on your outcome. You want to be outcome focused. That is the key to productivity. When you are outcome focused and you're super connected with that why, that priority that got you there, you're going to have a really high vibe, really open, intuitive, inspired way of working. And therefore, you're not going to worry about the hows. They're going to come to you. That's where you get your structures and your systems from. So when I'm focused on my outcome and I'm super excited about that, I get little hits of, now my brain can work for me and not against me. Now I can be like, oh, well, if I want to talk to more people because I can't wait to tell them about how this is going to help them productively, and my mind will say, you know what? If you go live, you could do that live and then repurpose it in other places. Thank you, brain. That is helping. That's something I heard before. There's a system and structure I can put on that. So I did that. I just did it a couple times for myself. Now I have my VA doing it, and guess what? When she did it, I had her write down an SOP for it. Structures and systems, yes, awesome. But what was the point? The point is so that I'm always being able to get out here and get what I want to say to my clients and to the people that are listening, that's going to help them scale their business, right? Like, I'm like super excited about helping powerhouse women with a team scale their business, and they need to be productive to do that and rock out a personal life. Like, you've got to be productive with that. So that's my outcome. It's like, how can I help them be more productive? And then from that, I get super excited, and then I get inspired to do something. Now I set up a structure and a system so that now it supports me in that. So today, after I finish this, my assistant knows exactly what to do with it, and I can go on to my next thing. But that came from an inspiration that I had before, okay? So that's kind of how that all works. All right, so here are some things, some questions to ask yourself, so that you can really be sure you are being more productive by being more outcome focused. So number one, what is the outcome you want to redirect yourself to that will determine your focus? And I would write that down, and every day, every time block, every time you're working, focus yourself back on the outcome first, connected to that why. You might need to relook at these first, but after you do and you're sure you're still set for the year, then what is my outcome for today? What am I focused on? Not which structure, and it may be a structure setting up a structure, but what is the outcome that structure is going to give you, so that you keep your why at the forefront of what you're doing. It's going to make you a lot more productive. All right, so now the next step is for you to keep your focus there. And so how do you do that? Well, how you're feeling is going to let you know where your focus is. Because if your focus is on your outcome and you're real connected to that high vibe why, you're going to feel, I'll just say, good, right? You're going to feel content or anything above. You're going to feel good about it. When you're not feeling really good about what you're doing, if you're bored with it or irritated or frustrated or overwhelmed or anything like that, your focus has switched from that outcome to something else. And so that will guide you. It's your guide throughout the day. So as you're working, if you hit that spot where you're not feeling great, stop for a second, refocus to your outcome that you really wanted for that day, that gets you sparked, that's connected to your why, your mission, your purpose, all of that, and then move from there. And it may be step away for a second. You might need to do that. But how you're feeling tells you how much you're letting in and how much you're allowing. Well, isn't that the whole point of productivity? Is to allow yourself to get that outcome, to allow yourself to have what it is you want, and your feelings let you know where you are on that. They are a super important, I'm going to say more than that. They are the key to a great business. Your emotions, your feelings, even in a big business, because each little step depends on that person and how they're feeling about it, how much they're allowing it to come in, and at what level. So that's the next one. Next, remember that your outcomes are based on goals and intentions. And that's where you want your focus to be. So be sure you're clear on those. You really want to check your, what do you think about them? Okay? What is your thinking about it? So I have an outcome I want. And then I have these thoughts. What do I think about that outcome? Because you do not do any action without thinking first. All of your actions come from a thought. So I would take a few minutes to kind of jot down, when you come up with that outcome, how do I feel about this outcome? What am I thinking now? Now, what do I think about it? What's my thought about it? This is going to be hard. This is going to be easy. I can't wait to do this. So excited for this. This is going to take me a long time. This is going to be really short. Ooh, I bet I can find an easy way. What are you thinking about it? That will guide you. Ooh, I think I will go do a live. Now you get up and you go get your light kit and you go do your live, right? If you're thinking that you need to spend more time understanding your outcome, if that excites you and you want to do research, great, then you will go do research. So remember, your thoughts are what guide your action. So what are you thinking about it, right? And so when you've done that, you've got what you're feeling, you know what you're feeling, now you know what you're thinking, you can let that in, you get inspirations, you have systems and structures that best support you and best support that outcome for you. So take those little tips, see if that helps today, get you a little more outcome focused. Right now, our focus is being pulled in a million directions. And for you to get your work done, a lot of us are having to do it in a much more productive way than usual. And this can really key you and guide you and focus you in on what it is that you need to be doing so that you can maintain that really forward focus on what it is that you want. Because remember, wherever your attention is, that's what's going to grow. That's what you're going to get more of. So be sure it's on an outcome that you really, really want. All right. That's it for today. You guys take care. See you soon. Bye.